Hello there, and thank you for taking time to consider and learn more about Skyfii's Occupancy Now Toolkit. Skyfii is a proud Meraki ecosystem partner, and to effectively utilize our Occupancy Now Toolkit, we'll be integrating with the client's Meraki access points, Meraki Cloud, and potentially even Meraki MV cameras. One of Skyfii's key missions is to always work with our clients to improve their end users' experience. That's real value that we add. That's return on investment that we're always looking to provide. And we are proud to say that we can partner with Meraki to be able to do this now more so than ever by using our Occupancy Now toolkit. The toolkit itself is focused on the CDC's four main guidelines: occupancy and social distancing, isolation, cleaning, and contact tracing. Let's take a look at the Skyfii platform dashboard, and I'll show you exactly how the toolkit is utilized. Real quick up at the top, it's important to note we've got three parts to the platform, three modules. Insights, that's all the data, the real-time reporting. We pull that right from the Meraki Cloud. And then we've got Engage. This is our messaging, our communication system. It's what will be used to help with contact tracing. And then we've got the guest Wi-Fi, the captive portal that we'll build. And this is how we're going to be used to gather a name and an email and to have anyone's clients, any Meraki customers' clients, opt in to COVID-19 updates from their customer. So real quick, right here on the dashboard, let's first look at the pillar of Occupancy Now and social distancing. So on our dashboard, we've got set up where you can determine what is the current occupancy of your venue, of your physical venue. At this point, it's reporting 86. Now we can look here and see that a threshold has been set for the number 80. So if we're at 86, we know that we're over that threshold. We're at 107% capacity. So one of the things that we're able to do is to send an alert to a staff member notifying them that they are either over threshold or approaching threshold. So we would always recommend set that threshold alerting a little bit lower so that a staff member can know that they need to come to the door and potentially get ready for queue, getting ready to have people line up if needed. We can estimate that wait time. So you'll see here based on predictive behavior, past analytics, we can see the estimated wait time is going to be 6 minutes because the occupancy is currently at 86. And then a couple of other things with occupancy. We like to let our customers see, hey, here is your busiest hour, busiest day, so that they can then help optimize their staff and understand when might those times be that we're most likely going to exceed occupancy. So here you can see the darker colored rectangles on Saturday and Sunday. They'll be able to predict and even be more prepared for those type of moments or times when they could exceed threshold. And then we also look at things like busiest passerby. So wherever your venue is located, when do you have more people passing by who actually may stop and come in and actually become visitors? Again, increasing occupancy. So again, they can look at this type of data and understand for staff utilization, security, things like that, when they might know, okay, our occupancy is potentially going to go up on this day or that. So that is Occupancy Now. Let me show you real quick the alerting. So we can click here on this bell and it's going to pop up alerting policies right there. I can go in and add new. So what we're going to do here real quick, we'll just name this threshold. And then you can set your occupancy breach rule. And so you would say if it's 80, maybe we want to send alert when occupancy is greater than 70, and we'll set it for 5 minutes. So if occupancy is greater than 70 for 5 minutes, we want to send an alert, and we're going to say select all here. We're going to send alert. You can pick the different days that you want to use it, the particular time of day when you would like it to happen, and then you can even send it through a variety of delivery channels. You could do email, you could do SMS messaging, and of course you could do some sort of API webhook. Perhaps the business uses Slack, so we could do some sort of internal communication, again, to alert them that your occupancy is approaching your threshold, and you'll want to have somebody on staff, again, to move to the doors as there might be some potential queuing coming up inside the venue. And then for documentation, whatever you want that alert to say that they're going to see, this is where you would put it in here. So a couple of big things there. One, we can help with occupancy. We can help with alerting. And then now I'm going to show you the social distancing piece of this. So we're going to click here under behaviors, and we're going to go to heat map. The heat map will pop up. I will need to pick a particular place inside the venue. And here you're going to be able to see as it plays back throughout the day, we're able to see a particular point in time and understand these are the areas inside the venue that typically have the most congestion. And this is something that we'll be pulling from the Meraki cloud to be able to understand this type of information. So we'll know, hey, this might be where we want to have staff, extra security, maybe tape on the ground to show 6 feet social distancing, maybe even rope off particular areas that are busy than others. But heat mapping can help sort of indicate where this type of congestion and social distancing issues might arise. One of the other things that we can do, if I click on the live view, I can see everywhere a smart device is in that venue at that time. Again, this is a demo account, but we could see, hey, there's a group of people clustered here. We might want to alert staff and send them over to have people separate. And again, knowing, hey, maybe in advance we want to have particular signs in this area, maybe even rope off certain areas to help ease the potential for congestion and violating social distance rules. So that is the heat map. And then one other thing that I'll show you here really quick is we'll take a look at visit flow. So visit flow is one of the things where we can create specific zones inside of a venue, and we can see how people move from one location to the next to see what might be the busiest paths or the busiest journeys that people are taking inside of the venue. This will also help with contact tracing, and I'll show you that in just a moment. So if someone does test positive, we find out who that individual is, we could then come here back to visit flow, and we could see what zones did they move through inside that particular venue. So we're able to track and isolate where that individual was. Again, we could alert cleaning, so the cleaning staff could go in. Surely they've got great cleaning schedules and things like that, but in this particular case, we would track those zones and make sure we do some extra deep cleaning anywhere that a person has been who has tested positive. We'll isolate that journey and come in and understand these are zones that we really need to take care of. Real quick, I'll show you how to create a zone. This is our smart zone builder. So I'm clicking on settings. I'll go right here to smart zones. We'll come in, a map will pop up. I click the plus because I want to add a new one, and then I'm just going to build a zone and understand a particular area inside of a physical venue. We could then choose what type it is, name it, category, subcategory, and description. And again, it helps us understand how do people move throughout the venue, particularly for isolation, contact tracing, and cleaning, but also in understanding a little bit of social distancing as well. So now we'll go back to the main part of the dashboard here, and I'm going to jump over to guest Wi-Fi, and I'll show you how we can build that captive portal that allows the end user to opt in. So I'm going to click New. Portal name, we'll go with test. You can have a description, you can have languages, many different, 20 plus different languages you can choose from. So if a phone defaults to that language, you'll have it there. And then we'll assign a venue. So I'm going to pick all venues in this case. We'll come right into the captive portal, many templates to choose from. We'll pick this one. And then we'll now see, this is what a new user would see. We do have social login, but for this particular instance, I would encourage you to really focus in on name and email, some way that you can follow up with this person. Again, around contact tracing, we could add an opt-in here where they say, let us know about the COVID-19 updates. So one, your customer would be able to kind of build confidence to their end users that, hey, it is safe to return. They can let them know about anything that they're doing around COVID-19, cleaning schedules, etc. But then also for contact tracing, the guests, the visitors, they could opt in here and say, yes, do alert me, do let me know with COVID-19 updates and anything in relation to contact tracing. So that can be for the new user and the return, return user. Now, once we've used the guest Wi-Fi to understand or to allow the visitors to opt in, the next thing that we can do is go in to registrations in guest Wi-Fi. So we could come here and we could find out, let's say, unfortunately, Angelo has tested positive. He's alerted the business that he's tested positive. We can come in and we can look at his visit activity and understand, if you remember back to Visit Flow and the Zone Builder, we can look back and see all the different places inside the venue that Angelo went on the day that he was here, and again, isolate his path, focus in on cleaning, but then we can do our contact tracing and alert anyone else who was in the venue on that particular day, and we'll know that based on the guest Wi-Fi, and we'll be able to contact them and let them know they may need to self-isolate, but also they may want to get tested themselves. So let's go to Engage. This is our communication tool here, and I'll show you how quickly we could set that up. So we'll go in, we'll go Add New, we'll call it Contact Tracing. So I'm basically setting up a campaign here that I want to send out. We're going to do this one time, so I'm going to click on Once Off, and we'll send an email. Now we do have these other delivery channels that you could use, but for this case, we'll use email, and then we need a start date. So we'll go June 1. And this is when we want to start this campaign, because again, a staff member or visitor is tested positive. We want to alert everyone who might have been there that day. So one of the benefits of the guest Wi-Fi is we're not going to be alerting everyone who's ever been in the venue and kind of creating nervousness and anxiety every time someone tests positive. Instead, we're only going to alert and contact those who potentially came into contact with that individual. So we'll build a new segment, we'll go to add a new rule, we're going to go down to past visits. So someone who has visited at least once, and we'll say in the last 2 days. So we know particularly when this person was there, somebody who's visited at least in the last 2 days. We'll go with this venue. You could choose all venues, and then we're going to go to next, and we can determine the template that we want to use to send to this individual. So we'll create one template, we'll use it many times if necessary. So you would just save it, and then you could continue to use it as you find out someone else is tested positive, and you can alert them. Again, they'll need to self-isolate or get tested themselves. So that is how we use the platform for our Occupancy Now toolkit. Again, we can understand occupancy, we can understand social distancing with the heat map, we can help with isolation, with the visit flow, where we're able to see how people move throughout the venue. We're able to understand cleaning, so we can set up cleaning schedules, and again, particularly focus on those areas where a person who's tested positive has been. And then of course we've got Engage for the contact tracing, where anyone who has opted in, we're able to alert them that they potentially have come into contact with somebody who is tested positive. So that is a very quick overview of our Occupancy Now toolkit, of how it works, of the value to the customer, of how it would be used. And of course, we have a customer success team who could help anyone set this up that would be interested, and we would be happy to chat with them and tell them more about it. Again, thank you for your time, and we're proud to be a Meraki ecosystem partner.